Hi, Lars from Leader Insider, and in the next 40 minutes or so, you're going to learn the golden nuggets from the book The Essentials from Peter F. Drucker without needing to reading through the whole thing. So, there are many book summaries out there, and people are talking about the strategies and the tactics, but I don't want to talk about this here and don't want you to get bored about them again. But I'm gonna give you the principles. The principles because strategies and tactics will change or might change over time, but principles won't. So a tactic might be pat your cat on the back when you see it on the street. But the strategy behind it is appreciate very little things. But the principles are be grateful in spite of your suffering. Just don't just appreciate also not little things. Be grateful about them. Be grateful about, hey, what's happening in my life. Even the suffering is something I can use to improve my life and the life of others. Don't forget to download the free summary PDF of this week's episode. It's only available uh, for this week, and at the end of the video, I'm going to share a link with you, so stay tuned. So, I know there are many distractions like our mobile phones or cell phones that constantly want our attention. And if you read through a book that really catches you, what's one of the first thing we all are doing? Hey, we throw away our cell phones or mute them or just get rid of all these distractions. And you don't want to miss one thing because I have the belief that one simple insight, one small, actually my my mobile phone, if you hear it ring right now, so get rid of it. But don't if you're if you're on your phone right now and watching this. Just mute everything. So you're probably wondering why I'm qualified to talk about this topic or about this book. And first of all, this is how I'm digesting books. Every book I read, I mark mark interesting passages, but I don't just read it once. I read it for like 4 or 5 times, and this is actually the fifth time I'm going through this book. So every interesting part will get an asterisk until it has three, and those are the golden nuggets, the greatest insight, the quintessences I came up from this book, the principles, you might say, this book has to offer, and this is what I'm going to present you here. The second thing is about it's really devastating statistics. Only about 10% or 90% of people don't go, if they buy such a book, don't get beyond the first chapter and read it through. Only 10% go beyond it. I don't want to know how small amount of people really go through the whole book. And third, this is it's about the 80-20 principles. Hey, 80% of the success comes through 20% of the actions. So this is what I'm offering you right here. 80, what's the 80-20% percentages of this book, and how can and in order to save you several hours. Last but not least, I really think that knowledge is only potential power. Execution triumphs over knowledge every single day of the week. So when would now be a good time to actually use this stuff? Imagine sitting in your rocking chair and with 80 years old, and would you regret not reading through a book, through this book, not paying attention to information that really changed my life and those from others, like the Harvard Business Review writes about this book. his writing are landmarks of the managerial profession. So when would now be a good time really to pause and get those most essential knowledge? So let's get right started. An existing organization goes down fast if it does not innovate. Any new organization collapses if it does not manage. So the first organization I was ever involved with, that first startup, really, really only went down because we didn't manage. We didn't manage what we are doing. We didn't manage, hey, we're doing process automation. But what kind of process automation? Because there's so much. And we always thought, hey, we can do everything. But everything and anything is really not that good. And then we came up with, maybe we focus on process automation for e-commerce. So we manage this, but then we don't have any structure and plans. We had a project that should go, we estimated, hey, this should take us 1 month. 7 months later, we were still not finished because we didn't have the project management, the capacity to really predict, okay, what's going to happen next, and really laying out a plan. Yeah, the the war, it won't go as according to the plan, but having a plan is much greater than not having one at all. So we went down because we had no plan on what's going to be next and what's the most, this is one of the most essential things I really believe. What's the most important thing on going on next? So, hey, we have all these possibilities we could do. Hey, we could find an investor, find find some money somewhere, or get a new customer. What to focus on? Everything sounds so great, but what's the right decision right now? How to manage it? And if an existing organization does not innovate, I wasn't in an existing organization, but that's a really nice principle because innovation is really important. And like another book I read, they were talking about blue ocean and blue ocean innovation. So when you have no competitors there, because this is a whole new market segment that was not even discovered by the existing enterprises. Management is about human beings. Its task is to manage people capable of joint performance, to make their strengths effective and their weaknesses irrelevant. So one of the most crucial things I really believe is that, yeah, we all have weaknesses. We all have things that is are easy for us to do, but other things are hard for us to do. For myself, it's writing because I really don't like it. So it drains my energy. This is a weakness of mine, but I believe, hey, writing is an essential skill we all need to develop, but actually making videos is much more easier. So my first thing was, hey, I'm starting a blog about it. I write about it. But just writing for 30 minutes drains my energy so much. But here I am talking to you like several hours from on a video, and I couldn't stop because talking, actually visualizing, telling this stuff, recording videos is something that gives me energy. So maybe your strengths are not your strengths. Something you're good in is not a strength of you, but weakness because it drains energy. And something you're not great at, but but it gives you energy is something you're great at. In management, this makes it a technology. So technology might change, technology evolves. So the greatest management I'm currently facing right now is agile. And agile is not about management, agile is about outcome focused project. You're not telling yourself, hey, I'm going to um, record this video, start recording, and do it on this specific time, and creating and talking about this kind of stuff. It's like create a video where it's outcome focused. The only thing I need to remember is not, hey, setting up everything that's really great about the lighting and the camera and so on. The only outcome I need to really get is record a video. I'm having right now record a video about this Golden Nugget show. So I don't need to remember five, seven things because the seven things are involved into this chunk. But I only need to remember the outcome. Outcome focused, purpose driven massive action plans. This is what I came about management nowadays. It's really great. The, the concept of profit maximization is in fact meaningless. In fact, the concept is worse than irrelevant. It does harm. So this is this is a book. It's like really really old, but nowadays we still hear people talking about profit maximization and so on. But if Peter Drucker and the HBR is telling we all hate it does harm, and this is what I'm really noticing. What is profit maximization? Hey, I can maximize it two ways, and the first way is like 90% of the corporations use. I can either hold my costs really down, so hey, producing this cup costs me $3, but I have a new supplier that where this cup costs me only $2. Hey, profit goes profit maximizes. But I can only do it so much because I can only maximize on this end on the price I'm buying in so much. But actually profit maximization on hey how to create more value to create a better product to create a higher value product so my customer is more worth to me over his lifetime. This is how pro nowadays we think about profit maximization. Two basic functions, marketing and innovation. So if you ask Drucker what is business, he would say marketing and innovation. So the interesting thing is, what is the greatest marketing? A really great product. But what happens if you have the best products on the world, but no one knows it? This idea, this product will die on the lips. So we need to get it out there. This is marketing, and we need to innovate to have something to put out there. And marketing basically for me is creating an offer. Hey, we have this product, this book. You can read it, you can have it, but I have a product. Hey, this is a life planner where you can plan your life. Together with it, you get a pen that's especially great for this product and this and this and this. And so you're positioning yourself really uniquely about in this market area. Objectives are always needed in all 8 key areas. The area without specific objective will be neglected unless we determine what it will be measured and what the yardstick of measurement in an area will be. The area itself will not be seen. So where focus goes, energy flows. When I don't put my attention on my body on actually improving my health, then not getting better. And what about weeds? Weeds grow automatically. It starts to deteriorate automatically my body if I don't go to the gym regularly. So any important area like sales, like hey, innovation, increasing new products, if you don't have measurements, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Hey, I can measure how many reps I'm taking on my biceps curls. But if I don't measure them, if I don't take, okay, today I did 8, tomorrow I will do 9, but what's the average? So if I don't measure it, I will just train useless, and I don't want, and if I don't have a plan, a trainings plan on what I'm going to work out today or tomorrow or this month, um, doing some different exercises every day, and I won't improve anything because you can only improve what you measure. The market standing to aim at is not the maximum, but the optimum. So one of the worst thing is really going for maximization. So if we maximize on, let's get back to the example I had earlier. So the optimum would be for my customer, hey, to really develop complementary products. But the optimum, this is the optimum, but the maximum where, okay, would be, okay, I have this customer and he's buying from me cups, and I know that other people that are not selling cups, they are selling, hey, you can print something on these cups. So I'm going to offer you, to maximize my profit, offer you the printing. But what's the problem? I need to reconstruct or get a whole new fabric to really get those printings, those inlines. But I could say, okay, most of my customers need a cup with some for is a coffee cup. So optimum would be getting them a coffee machine or coffee bones as an upsell. But the maximum would be, okay, there are really much people that are buying cups with printings on it, so I get this. So there would be more money, but it would be also the higher costs. This would make it easy for my existing customers to buy, and I don't need to set up new marketing, new innovation, and new product lines. The only thing I need to set up is actually offer. Because coffee bones are out there, I can have a partner with them. The manager is a servant. So if you're a manager, you're most likely a servant to the artist, to the guy who's out there and making the websites, for example. You serve him to really be committed, to really have the focus on this thing and don't need to hustle about all this other stuff you don't want to be accompanied with. All he can do is try, but he can promise that he will not knowingly do harm. And if the ship goes down, the captain does not call a meeting. The captain gives an order. And if the ship is to be saved, everyone must be obeyed the order, must know exactly where to go and what to do, and without participation or argument. So all the manager can do is try and work for the best interest of the company. But problem is when there are several people who want less work. So if he's trying and really getting into, hey, I'm better than everyone else, I'm not, the company will not grow. But we all need one captain on a company, on a division, on something or someone, but because else it would go, the ship goes down, and what's happening? We must call a meeting because we must decide together. So the ship will go down much more likely. And if we have people that are arguing with us, so right now I'm here in a startup location, and those location has three. bosses, and they're constantly moving in other directions. Like, hey, we need to make advertisement for the co-working. The other one says, hey, no, 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 we're an event location. And the other one says, hey, this is all not relevant because I'm doing just here my lectures. So there are three different directions. They're constantly moving, and so they won't move anywhere. And they're arguing like for the last 1.5 years, and it doesn't seem an end. Everyone does their own stuff and not following through on one commitment, and then it won't go any further. In fact, that they know more about their job is the job than anybody else in the organization is part of the definition of knowledge worker. So now that we're in a knowledge society, knowledge is the power we're having as knowledge workers. So if you're a website developer, you know more about website development than your boss or your coworker that's a designer. And in fact, this is the important stuff. This is why you are here. And this is by, in fact, the definition of valuable people in an organization. Really, really great insight. Activity-based costing therefore not only gives much better cost control, but increasingly it also gives results control. This is like I was talking about earlier, result-focused agile projects. When we are really result-focused and then we are creating only activities that are for this result. And the important stuff is about, again, the 80-20 principle. Most of the activity we do don't have a huge impact on the result. So if I want to create a website, for example, and it should be just a simple homepage. I could go out there and tell, okay, what's the plan? How to create it? Okay, the first thing I need is design, the CI, the corporate identity, and after this, I'm going to, then I need someone who designs this web page. Then I need someone who implements it, and and wait, designing before I design or even while I design I need content. Okay, then I still need content. Okay, but is design really necessary for a website to be there? I I really believe no. I can have a standard design that's already there. Don't need a designer. So I would cut the cost in not only half, but also really less because design is one of the most expensive things on a website, and then I only need someone who develops it. But if I'm getting some page builder, for example, that's really effective and still doesn't make the website worse, like loading times, I could. Hmm, this is a thing I could don't even need a developer anymore. So the only thing I need is someone who asks me the right questions about my business, about what to put on the web page, and then I can have the same guy because then communication does not need to be there with the others to really put it in the right direction. And so I only need someone who gets content, who creates content and gets my web page. Pretty simple. I don't need design. I don't need web development if I'm just getting a standard website. So the result is getting a standard website. I have so many different ways to actually do it, but content and creating the website are the two basic functions I need to do. I don't need design. I don't need code. I don't need a website that's really specific. I just need a homepage that's already built, and I need and designed, and then I need to put it there, my content in that was once that was that we agreed upon. they must they must start with the assumption that there's only one cost, that of the total system. So what's business? Why do I create an enterprise? Why do I create a business? A business, by per definition, is to really create an ongoing system to get work with a customer, get and work with a customer, and to really make this of a process. And we must assume that this is only the one cost I have. Hey, to get a customer and to work with him, and then to innovate to get new customers. All of this is one cost, and this is what we need to consider. Marketing is not only start, marketing is also while you work and after you work with the customer. Return on investment, payback period, cash flow, and discounted present value. None of this is the right method to understand a proposed investment. A company needs to look at all four. So it's like, hey, if I only look at one or two, um, fuck, I need to look at all these four periods to really know and understand, hey, this is a great investment, this is my cost structure, and this is how I can move on upon. And I'm really having a lucrative business. Yes, management by drive is the rule rather than exception. Yet management by drive is the exception rather than the rule. Sorry, I missed that. So management management requires motivation, but motivation never lasts. So we want to manage by drive, but how to do this? And nowadays we're still trying to figure it out. I came with a really simple principles for myself. Managing thyself first is those who have a strong enough why can be almost anyhow. It's what Nietzsche wrote. So stack your reasons why, and the drive will come. The why for the outcome. Reports and procedures should be the tool of the man who fills them out. So most of the time when you're in a larger corporation, you have so many procedures and something you should fill out, some forms and so on, that most of them became useless. A great and robs time to really get your work done. A great a great strategy on it I really found is, hey, let's remove 80% of all our procedures, of our protocols, and only use the most essential 20%. And if I miss one, if I think, this should be there, this is one I should be using again. And all others might be useless. After a period of time, I need to consider that we need to really, yeah, but the other thing is to create this change. That's what a leader does, creating change. We need to accompany the habit of mankind. We are creatures of habits. So we really need to implement in ourselves the habit to improve for the better continuously, and to try out everyday things to improve. You cannot build performance on weaknesses. You can only build it on strengths. Performance is based upon strength, and like written earlier, hey, I make your weaknesses useless, not not useless, but your weaknesses in a corporation won't matter because I have people that are supplementary to your weaknesses, and you can build upon your strength and really focus upon it. I myself know no case where buying in has worked. Businesses are not paid to reform customers, they are paid to satisfy customers. Let's read it again. Businesses are not paid to reform customers, they are paid to satisfy customers. The founder has to learn to become the leader of a team rather than a star within helpers. A leader. A leader is not someone that looks in the mirror when anything goes right. A leader is someone who and looks at out of the window to his people when anything goes wrong. A leader is someone who's not the star. This is a servant leader, level 5 leader. Level 4 leader needs to be the big man who's out there staying in front and says, I did this all. But the real leader, the servant leader, looks in the mirror if something goes wrong and looks outside to his people if anything went how it planned or even better than it planned. Because he's a servant. Profits are not made by differential cleverness, but by differential stupidity. So we all know, hey, my profits are not made because I'm so clever. My profits are made because my competitors are not doing the right things, because they don't think about it all. Every comic book points out that the customer do not buy a product, but what the product does for them. So we we really don't. I don't buy this pencil because it's a great pencil. I buy this pencil because I can write, and I don't write because I want to write. I write because I want to hold ideas, hold to get knowledge, to remember knowledge, or I draw with this pencil to create the picture I have in my mind. So the pencil, a company only needs to link up his vehicles, this is, are your products, to the result, the outcome your customers after. Hey, I want to write, buy this pencil. Hey, if you really want to create a great picture with different, on paper, with different strength of lines, there are some, I saw recently some pencil where you press where you press them harder on the paper, they spread out and then they go back together. So if you want to draw like this, buy this pencil. Link it up to the outcome the customers after, not the product. They don't buy a product. The fact remains that so far anyone who's willing to use marketing as the basis of strategy is likely to acquire leadership in an industry or market fast and almost without risk. Business really are two things, innovation and marketing. So let's yeah, let's make it a call because I'm only halfway through the book and I have really much more to talk about. Hello? Focus? It won't work, okay. Why won't it focus? So, okay, I presented as, why won't it focus? Okay, now focus is there. My camera just said, no, I don't want to focus anymore. Okay, the special offer is about the link to help you implement these golden nuggets from this week's episode. So this means you're getting a free PDF of this week's episode. Just go on the website on the following link, flowfulfunnel.com/golden-nugget-show and download your free PDF file there. You can also go into the description to get the link. and thanks.